Hello and welcome to the Dream Warrior Review, Episode 11. I'm Kurt Thomas.
I'm Mick Strawn.
Let's talk about Thor.
Ragnarok.
Am I saying that?
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
Yes.
Wait, is that right?
Ragnarok.
Yeah, Ragnarok.
Ragnarok is a name that came from.
It's not related to Fraggle Rock.
No.
Sounds like it though.
Well, it is actually. No. Ragnarok is the name of a god in Norse mythology.
I actually looked it up because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So that's what makes this really interesting, I think. Part of it.
Yeah.
But so basically, Thor Ragnarok starts with Thor in chains and imprisoned.
Right.
And basically, there's a lot going on with Thor, but in a nutshell, Thor has to fight for his survival, but he also has to stop Hela, the goddess of death.
Right.
From starting Ragnarok, which is the end times, Thor put it.
Right. And the
end of Asgardian civilization.
And who is Hela?
She's the goddess of death.
No. Who is she?
Oh.
Come on.
It's related
You
to
didn't
Thor.
catch this? Yeah. It's his sister.
Long lost sister.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
right. Oh.
Which it was she was kind of hot. It was Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
Which actually it took me a while to figure out who it was. I don't know why. I totally missed it, but I was like, she looks familiar.
What do you mean you don't know why?
Well, I didn't notice in the open
layers
credits,
and layers
I guess.
of optical effects is why you didn't.
In the three Thor movies so far, I've seen in all three of them. The first one, I wasn't really that into Thor, but this one I really liked compared to those two.
Right.
Let me put it that way.
And even I enjoyed it, although I thought the optics were crap. I thought that, once again, it's a matter of I didn't believe any of it. But let me tell you something. I also got a feeling that neither did they. And and I think that in that respect, there was a kind of a jokey kind of...
the whole thing was jokey.
The whole thing was jokey all the way through. And it worked better as a comedy than I think it did...
That's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
And it was action-packed comedy. Yeah. And do you know what it reminded me of? Yeah. It reminded me of Flash Gordon in the 70s.
Really?
So, you know when the action sequences picked up, especially when they were in that spaceship, and they were flying through the spaceship, and the funky disco porn music was playing, like kind of Atari porn, I guess. It was that weird music that was, like if Atari made porn video games, it would have sounded like that.
Yeah.
I pictured Flash in my head. And it kind of had the same kind of feel, like the same kind of humor even. Like when he said, this is my old friend from work, I mean, I don't know.
It did. Even as people got killed, they got killed in really kind of a jokey, smiley way.
Right. It was very comic booky, which actually I think more films should do in a way. Because, I mean, if you look at Batman, it just kind of got dark. Dark. Same with Superman.
Dark.
That corner.
So dark, and you just don't.
And I like the Superman from the 70s.
Okay, well then let's talk about what Ryan Reynolds did to kind of turn around, and Ant-Man. With come on, help me out here.
Paul Rudd.
Right? I mean, I lean towards those two.
Paul Rudd. Yeah.
In general, because they kind of break that mold of getting more serious. The new Spider-Man had the same effect. It was jokey. It was smaller.
Spider-Man's kind of always had that same, even when Tobey Maguire was doing it, and the show in the 70s.
Yeah, but then the new one went way. It went younger.
Went back to the 70s, kind of like.
Yeah, the jokey. Kind of. It was much. By the way,
I didn't see that one.
Just off topic, but I think you'll love this. You seen Italian Spider-Man?
Italian Spider-Man? No, I haven't.
You haven't seen Italian Spider-Man?
No, I haven't.
Really?
Sounds awesome, though.
Or the Japanese Spider-Man? Oh, that's hilarious. But the Italian Spider-Man is actually an Australian troupe that does, it's
Does pasta come out of his wrists?
Pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The other guy,
actually, he's a short guy with a mustache. That's just great.
I'd probably like that.
Yeah, I think that you would.
I was a big fan of The Greatest American Hero back in the 80s. Remember that show?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I love
that show.
Yeah. So anyway, we're getting off topic here.
Yeah. Like how far?
Thor. I mean, there's so much going on. It's hard to even. I don't know. I mean, Valkyrie with the drinking problem, which I thought was kind of bizarre how they just kind of brushed that off. I'm not going to stop drinking. That was strange, but to me it was. And then Jeff Goldblum, his character was wacky.
Yes, completely wacky. Jeff Goldblum was putting on his full.
He did an awesome job though.
Flair. I mean, he was Flair. That's all I have to say is that he was in full Flair.
I would invite that guy to a party.
I'm telling you. Well, absolutely.
As long as it didn't turn to the
to the dark side.
Right.
To the dark side.
But I don't know if you saw it after the credits either, because I know you typically run away when credits start.
I do. I mean, I'm not great.
Which is weird because you used to be in credits. Wouldn't you want people to see those?
I just don't. Here's the problem: is I'm afraid that I'm going to see somebody that is
doing better than
still
you
in the everybody's doing better than I am. So there you go. No, I just don't care anymore. Yeah.
Well, see, I guess with these movies, I always watch the credits because I know there's going to be a teaser, and there was. It's a hint of a sequel.
What was it?
Do I want to have a spoiler here?
Oh yeah, no spoiler.
Well, there was something that was in the movie that came up again in a bigger way.
Okay, well,
and I'll tell you maybe after we turn the mics off. And then there was another one.
Once the mics are on.
So that was mid credits, and then at the end of the credits, there's a Jeff Goldblum one.
Oh,
it was just a short 30-second joke, basically.
Yeah, but you're right. He was great in there.
Yeah, he was awesome. And then actually, at first when I saw the Hulk, I was like,
when
I'm not a huge Hulk fan. Like the movies were pretty lame, I thought. I don't know.
Yeah, and
but I liked it.
Yeah, I kind of liked it, and I kind of especially liked that Hulk's trying to, he's hanging around in his
I thought it was
really
weird.
Nice place, and
he's stuck as the Hulk, and he's kind of going with he's being more human than he should be, probably.
Yeah, it was was odd.
Don't leave.
But but in the horrible settings, the settings just weren't even convincing.
Yeah, that's
especially the room that the Hulk was in.
Again, Flash Gordon. Like when I saw that red room, I kept that movie kept coming into the back of my head. I'm like,
what? You're right. You're absolutely right. That red room could have been in that film for sure.
The only thing missing was a scooter that he was riding on. I don't know.
Well, also, you know what else was very the place that they come into that was very Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
The
Asgard.
Asgard.
The big
the
golden
entrance
city kind of.
But the golden, but the thing that the ray comes into that delivers them, that was particularly Flash Gordon. With the guy doing the.
Right.
It's like. Yeah, it was way out there.
The whole movie was out there, and then the fact that people keep coming back, Loki.
Yeah, but that's the thing about Thor,
by the way, I have a feeling the sister's going to come back.
Well,
I mean, just because it's kind of a theme here, it seems like they keep coming back.
The thing is I forget it completely because there wasn't anything to really put my. I mean, it was jokey, and I kind of liked it for. It having
I'm having the same problem.
Comedy. I can't bring back any specific thing about what happened, and I just saw it.
So I'm sitting here trying to think of examples, and I actually didn't even write down any examples. But I was sitting there enjoying the movie. I enjoyed the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have anything I really hated about it, and I liked it. In fact, I more than liked it. I think because I was thinking about the other Thor movies.
I don't think that it progressed the story at all.
Well, the other Thor movies were just kind of your old-fashioned superhero movies where he has to overcome something and then he does, and then blah blah blah. He saved Earth. Oh, great, whatever. But this one was a little more off the chain.
And we know that he can get by without his hammer now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what was the line that he said? Are you the god of hammers?
Yeah.
Which is probably
which is a God's way of saying you're as dumb as a bag of hammers.
Which only he could deliver that line without laughing.
That's right.
I mean, make it sound serious.
Yeah, and my wife says, that is a man. The muscles and stuff. The muscles.
And he reminded me of I don't know if you're a Metallica fan, but when James Hetfield cut his hair. He actually looked better with his hair short, I think.
Yeah.
So the same thing for Thor.
Oh,
I think.
and Thor got his hair. Yeah, that's right. He got a shortcut. Yeah.
Which, by the way, that was a weird scene there. But and I don't think he knew where he was. I don't think the guy that cut his hair. I don't think he knew where he was. He was like, I'm just gonna pull this trigger. I don't know what I'm doing here. But I have to do it.
It kind of went with the props, and the whole thing was yeah.
Actually, I kind of liked Valkyrie, the character, just because she was kind of a badass. She was kind of a Michelle Rodriguez character, but she was a better actress. She was a better actress.
Yeah, but Michelle Rodriguez is Michelle Rodriguez.
She's pretty badass too. See, I like her. I like her when she doesn't talk.
Yeah,
but this girl could talk and get away with it. Is what I'm getting at.
Michelle Rodriguez has got to get away from the Fast and Furious stuff, though.
Yeah,
that's just that last one, boy.
I didn't see the last one.
Yeah, well,
so I guess
you shouldn't.
Did we? I guess we liked Thor.
Yeah, we did. We did Ragnarok, like Thor. I can't remember a thing about it, but you know, it does bring up a battle that does go on right now between the practical effects and the pure optical effects, the CGI optical effects. Now, when we were doing things back in the day, we had access to blue screens and optical effects in blue screen using miniatures and placing them by using a blue screen and so forth. Right. But it was very expensive, and you would use that as your big reveal, and you would use small practical shots to get you to the point of doing the reveal with a blue screen. And every time that you did that, it looked like a blue screen shot. So you were trying to limit that as much as possible. This is the big difference between CGI. As soon as CGI came in, you just kind of shot a few reactions, and as much of it as you needed, you just kind of filled in. And here's the difference. This is what happened. We had to work at a sequence. We had to figure out how each given small insert shot or every smaller shot was going to work, how it was going to look, and that would determine how we would storyboard it. Then we would see it, and we would line the storyboards up and see, is this telling our story? And you would have opinions coming from left and right, and you would tighten it up. You would experiment, with the practical effects to get up to the point. You would take time to make sure that the optical effects itself, that it's short time there, that it would fit with everything else. And you wound up, every time you did an effects shot, it had about 20 times as much work and thought into it as just the regular dialogue that was going on, say, in an adventure film. And so because of that, I think that some of those sequences just tend to be more iconic and more, they stick to your head. Yes. Because they were real and they were more thought out. I mean, I hate to say directorly. I guess, if that's a word, they were more directorly.
Collaborative, maybe.
They were definitely more collaborative. And
more heads are better than one.
And yeah,
generally.
And figured, if you look at most of the Hong Kong films, they would go in and shoot a week to shoot out all the dialogue. And then they would spend 3 months, 4 months shooting all the action sequences. And that's
right.
That's
if you look at like a Bruce Lee film, I mean, that's the focus. Is all the action.
Well, exactly.
Very little dialogue.
Yeah, very little dialogue, and the thing is you took the time to work things out as you were going along the line.
Well, also, don't you think it looks more real?
Oh, there's no doubt that the visceral effect of something, and the reason I bring this up in the Thor movie is that the reason that film worked is because nobody took it seriously. And
well, it's like I said, it was comic booky, so it almost looked like it was drawn, in a lot of ways.
Exactly, so that you could just kind of let the backgrounds be whatever jokey thing that they were going to be. It didn't matter. I mean, because none of the heat coming off of flames you just couldn't imagine that any of that was going to make a difference. You just wanted to see Thor make a joke, or you wanted the girl to say something funny to the Incredible Hulk. I mean, that's what it came down to. If you want seriousness, it just didn't have.
Yeah, they tried to be serious, but it was like the guy that was the traitor that jumped on the ship and everything.
Let me give you a good use of CGI is using it to place practical effects, and I would say that most recently Mad Max did it best. I mean, that film, they did all this really practical stuff, and then they just kind of went in and tweaked it and put it where it needed to be using CGI, and that gave it that hammer effect, that feeling like this was really happening, like there was peril.
Right.
See, and the thing is that made that a much better adventure film.
Yeah.
And which was good because it was a very serious film. See?
Yeah.
See?
Well,
I don't know what I'm looking at.
I mean, is it really less expensive to do practical effects compared to CGI? Because it seems like CGI would be more. I mean, if you look at the credits, I mean, you see like hundreds and hundreds of people that worked on CGI.
Yeah, but
so isn't that like a huge budget right there? You see what I'm asking?
Yeah, but it's harder to go as far. You have to think it out more. You have to be an actual director.
I guess I'm thinking of Star Wars, for example. Like the first Star Wars, a lot of models, a lot of planning, like you said.
Right.
A lot of mix between,
Yeah.
They didn't use a lot of, obviously CGI wasn't really a thing at that point. So then you talk about the newer, well, maybe not the last two Star Wars films that I absolutely loved.
Well, you were thinking
the ones that Lucas
horrible.
did. The bad Lucas
that
ones.
were horrible.
Yeah.
And that was a perfect example, the degradation of that look.
But wasn't the budget a lot? Do you see what I'm getting at?
Well, yeah, but at that point, to make it look anywhere near right,
I guess in the 90s,
it took a lot of money. And
well, I tried to watch Jurassic Park recently, and I thought it
didn't get very
hard for me.
See,
it wasn't as effective for me now than it was when it came out.
A lot of times, you just what you think you want isn't really what's going to do you the best.
Right.
I think CGI works that way and has worked. I would just look at almost every Marvel film. They've left practicality behind and let it get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger using the CGI to do it, and it's not very convincing.
Right.
The only time that to me personally, the only time that any of it works is when you have personality coming in strong to save it. And well,
I hate to say it,
Ant-Man. I'm
going
to say
one reason why. Yeah, Ant-Man. I like Ant-Man, but I also loved the 70s
Deadpool,
Superman.
Yeah.
With Christopher Reeve. No, I mean, he had a lot of personality, a lot of charisma, and they did a lot of actual stunts.
I'm not kidding. As soon as we're done yapping here, I'm gonna get my phone and I'm gonna bring up the Italian Spider-Man.
I gotta see it.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. This is the greatest thing.
So my argument is, I think that the old ways are always gonna be there, and I think more people should go back to doing more of them.
I think it. I think it has to be a mix. I think that.
But a mix, yes, I agree.
But I actually have a feeling that maybe our love affair with the big effects and stuff is kind of waning. I think Frank Miller, kind of is leading us the way to do it right.
Yeah. There you go.
I think that I like Thor, and probably it was despite the production design. It was despite the effects.
Right.
It was just because it was super joking, and they all worked as Thor stand-up.
Yep. And it was the best Thor film, I think, so far.
There you go.
Yeah.
Can't get better than that.
Nope.
And that's us.
Again, I'm Kurt Thomas along with Mick Strawn. Thank you for joining us on Dream Warrior Review. We welcome your feedback, and if you have any questions or burning desires or just ideas for our show, we welcome email at dreamwarriorreview@gmail.com. Our music was by Blood God, and please do join us next time on Dream Warrior Review.